Okay, today we're playing a game on VoD. The average SR of this game was 1905, and we will be playing Zenyatta the entire way through. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, Junkrat, Bastion, Symmetra, Zenyatta, and Ana. So, I mean, the thing that stands out to me is that we don't have a very good answer for a Pharah, which very likely for the enemy team, the attacking team, I should say, to have on VoD. And just as a general thing, I think that you should always have a way to deal with a Pharah, because if you don't have a way to deal with a Pharah, and the enemy team has a Pharah that's decent, and if they even have a Mercy, it's even worse, then you tend to get wrecked by the Pharah. So, just as a general thing. The other thing is we only have one tank, which I'm never particularly a fan of, because I find it tends to be very easy to just get rolled over, and we have a team that's not fantastic at being dove on, unless they're really bad and cheese grate themselves on the Bastion. That being said, we're in Silver SR. Highly unlikely anybody knows how to play their heroes correctly anyway, so not worth worrying about. So let's start the game. So our Reinhardt, he's standing all the way up there, not where we want him to be standing, because that's really bad, and he could have gotten picked off quite easily for that, but he didn't get picked off because there's no justice in the world. You'll probably also know, oh god, this is all absolutely terrible. You see, usually I have two monitors, and everything is going off on one side, and then just recording the other monitor. Missing one of my monitors right now. So, having to do everything over here. Can't currently see if everything is recording correctly, so I just have to trust that it is, which is very scary, and we're also going to see, like, this happen now and then. So, as we can see over here, Bastion is also not standing in a very good location. Well, say standing. Because he's up here, whereas normally you'd want him to be back over here. Because if he's up there, well, if they have a Roadhog, he's dead. If they see him up there and they all focus him, he's dead. This would obviously be very terrible, because if you have a Bastion and the Bastion gets rolled over, it tends to be very hard to deal with that afterwards. So, turns out, they also have a Bastion. He's now dead. Apparently partly because of Fire Strike, so he probably got... Oh, there goes Bastion. Probably also stepped on, like, Junkrat cheese outside the gate, and then the Fire Strike finished him off, which is very sad for them. I'm sure they're really stoked to A, have a Bastion, and then B, for that to have happened right afterwards. They also have a Junkrat, because of course they have a Junkrat. This is the most recent patch, I'm pretty sure. Junkrat has now killed Junkrat. We're standing where we should be standing, all the way back here, out of the way. Having a great time just putting Harmony Orb on people. We barely even see anybody, so we haven't really seen anybody. We know they have a Mei. We just saw a Widowmaker shoot past us, but Symmetra has just killed Widowmaker and Mei. So, you know, basically we're in a silver game right now. Reinhardt going off real far by himself. We're trying to get him to come back. He does come back, but he's a silver Reinhardt. If you know what I like. Like, look at this guy. What's he up to? He shouldn't be doing it. Symmetra's just informed us that she's going to be making a shield gem, which is depressing. And here we seem to have not realized we got stuck on the, streetlight, and then we end up getting grated to death on the Bastion, and then Zenyatta finishes us off, actually. Our Bastion got his ultimate. Their Lucio apparently died on the trap. This is where it's even more depressing that we don't have a shield generator. I mean, that we don't have a teleporter, which is the better play. But, you know, if she's going to build a shield generator, that's her business. But now you got to walk all the way back. Now, we do have 275 health with Zenyatta, which is pretty cool, because Zenyatta's a pretty easy guy to kill, generally. Big floating box of a hit. Big floating cube of a hitbox, I should say. And no way to save himself other than just killing the thing that's trying to kill him. And here we get rolled over by the tire, which is of course very terrible. We don't really want to be trending towards the point, because the point's really scary. We can just be standing, like, back over, like, right here, in fact, and then this is fine. The rest of the enemy team is, like, coming around the other side, so as long as we keep an eye that nobody's coming back around on us, we can stand, like, back over by the gate, and do everything we were doing, but be way safer. That being said, the tire would probably have still killed us regardless, because he probably would have just steered it straight at us, but we could have been standing further back, and that would have obviously been safer, especially as Zenyatta, who we want to be standing really far away from, because no fall off on our weapon. As long as you're in range to put Harmony Orb and Discord on people, you're inside your range. You want to be as far back as possible. So, this is gone. They're still out there. They're still trying. Sort of, anyway, but, like, it's gone. We shouldn't even be over here, because if we die right now, that's really terrible, because they just get... It takes us a while to get back again from this checkpoint, and it's not that they're gonna push it very far in that period of time. The fear is that the rest of our team will start staggering themselves, and then you get the infinite loop of just never actually regrouping. That's the biggest reason to not die in low SR. Not because they're necessarily gonna push the payload very far, because your team is so likely to stagger that you don't want to be the thing that starts it off, right? Because if you die, oh, they're going in 5v6, oh god, now he's dead right as I get back, and then the cycle begins anew. So, basically, so far, like, we're playing, like, as well as we could, then we got too close. And then we got, like, hung up on the lamppost, which is obviously bad, but, like, don't get caught up on geometry. How helpful. And then we could be standing further back. But basically, we've been playing Zenyatta this entire time, where we've been just really far back. And, we barely had to see the enemy team for quite a while. So there's a Genji coming at us right now. He's not very good, as we can see by the fact he just missed about 8,000 shots at us right there. Oh, very scary. We just saw a Boostio sliding past us, and we got closer to the edge. If you see a Boostio, like, sliding near you, and you're near an edge, like, you wanna, like, make sure you don't go near that edge, because then you die. We've come down here. Why did we come down here, exactly? Was this to, like, chase down the Genji? If that's the case, don't do that. Well, Anna's gone down here as well, so I guess it's to help Anna try, and then, I see. So we're coming down to help Anna, and then this ends up happening. Don't come down the staircase, and if you see Anna die, just back out, because, like, Genji low HP, yeah, you know, you might be able to kill him. Okay, you probably could kill him. But at the same time, if the Genji's decent, don't forget, you're still playing Zenyatta, you're still really easy to kill and to hit. If he just shuriken, like, right-clicks you point blank, that's most of your HP, and then just bonk, dead. So, and you know, it's kinda scary. I wouldn't recommend it. If you're Zenyatta, you don't really want to be the guy chasing after people, because it's kind of not really Zenyatta's thing. So something very funny is going to happen right here, like, but remember that this trap is right here. This is going to come up in a second, because it's very funny. Oh, look at that stretch, right? That just, like, snaps off. Let's watch that one again, because I find it really funny. Oh god, should I be over here? Should I be over there? The game didn't really know what it wanted to do exactly. So we used our Transcendence a bit before the Graviton, but then we got pulled into the Graviton because it happened right afterwards, so that's fine. And then we get killed by the tire. And there's not a lot you can do about that, especially in the most current patch, because it's mad fast, and they tend to shoot it at you like NASA shoots a rocket into orbit. So, we've just, apparently Reinhardt's not in the voice chat, so he's not heard any of us, like, trying to tell him to come back. He probably, there he goes. He probably wouldn't have listened anyway, because, I mean, he's a silver Reinhardt. They are the simple folk. I would know, being a Reinhardt who is very simple also. Lucio just slides in right here and executes us. We were standing next to our Reinhardt, took a bunch of damage, and then Lucio just came in. So, you know, we could be standing, like, further back on the bridge, but, like, we were standing next to our Reinhardt, so it's not like it was that terrible. But you do also generally want to be standing as far back as possible, so we could have been standing, like, on the other end of the bridge proper. The Reinhardt, and then we just get right-clicked by Zenyatta, feels bad. Happens. Try not to hang out in the doorways on Eichenwald, because it's very narrow area, very easy for you to get hit, because there's not exactly a lot of moving you can do in there. Try not to hang out in the doorways, because it makes it easy to hit you. That being said, also, like, moving out of like, don't even come over here, like, it's not to be. Fortunately, Lucio wastes sound barrier on this, which, I mean, silver linings and all that. But, like, this is gone. We shouldn't even be over here, because the fear is... Shepard was pretty upset about that one. The fear is that you get picked off right here, and then they do get some, like, free push in through this area, and the staggering can begin, which we want to try and make sure doesn't happen. Good old Junkrat just hanging out in the doorway, just, like, shoot through at him. Good times. We've almost got Transcendence. That's cool. Reinhardt didn't want to hold his shield up. Might have broken, based on the fact it was cracked, in which case he's bad. But we already knew that. Yeah, you know, sometimes the Diva Bomb gets thrown at you, and you're just not in a position that you can get out of the way, and it feels bad. Could have tried to hug the wall a little bit more, but yeah, you know, that's the kind of Diva ult that you see coming, and you're like, this one's probably gonna get me. And it always feels bad, because it's an ult that I feel dirty when it kills me. You know, when I die to Diva's ult, I'm like, that really shouldn't have happened, but sometimes it does. So, there's a Bastion coming towards us on the payload. We've gotten hit by Junkrat bombs. I mean, the only advice to, like, not get killed by Junkrat is basically dodge, because the damage is pretty predictable. So, like, Shepard's really upset, by the way. Like, he's very upset right now. Junkrat shrapnel is quite predictable, so, like, the advice is basically just don't get hit by it, which is not helpful, but, is also, like, how you deal with Junkrat, basically. So we use Transcendence. There's a fair enough use of Transcendence, and we got this Junkrat hanging out back here. Oh god, we're gonna get him eventually. We're tracking him with the Discord. Don't walk through Junkrat's body. That gets you killed. Fortunately, didn't get us killed, but, like, don't walk through Junkrat's body. I think Zenyatta's right click is really bad. Oh god, oh no. I think Zenyatta's right click is really bad, but we were tracking his Discord through the wall, so, you know, that's fine. That is one of the acceptable uses of the right click, and the other is to, like, peek turrets to death. And that's basically it. So, gone a little bit too far forward, because we've immediately started fighting, apparently, because we see Junkrat over there. And he didn't really do anything. We got 7% ult charge off of it, though, so who really won here, Junkrat? So now we have to attack on Eichenwald, which is always really fun, and everyone loves doing it. We should, like, move our Harmony Orb during this, because, like, we've got it sitting on the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt's, like, the least hurt person. Like, we put it on in here, and he's, like, hurt, but now he's been healed up by Ana. Now, DPS over there, low HP. If, like, you do want to heal tanks, but if you think that Ana's gonna deal with it, Ana's the best at healing tanks, because she has the highest healing output. Zenyatta, relatively low healing output, so if you think your Ana's gonna deal with it, you want to be healing the DPS, because you'll heal them faster, and Ana's generally going to be focusing on the tanks. But if the tank also is, like, really fucked up, you do want to put it on the tank. But, like, Reinhardt, he was the one that deserved it the least, and we could have, like, put it over on the DPS who started getting fucked up. Healing is still #1 priority, even though we were shooting at people. So, both our tanks, currently dead, and I mean, you know, I don't think Reinhardt's actually dead. Reinhardt's not dead yet, but he is dead. Like, he is dead. We know.
He's kind of in the bone zone.
He is indeed in the bone zone. That is an accurate assessment. Like, this is why, like, this is gonna be really hard for us to pull this one off, because, our Diva doesn't really want to go in, probably because she's afraid of getting fucked by Mei, which is fair enough. Our Reinhardt is really bad. So this is going to be a hard one for us to pull off, because if your tanks are bad, it tends to be very hard to get through the choke point. Shepard's very upset still, by the way. I was informed in the email ahead of time that he was very upset. He is indeed very upset. He's yelling right now, as you can see. He's very upset right now. Video games are very upsetting. We've just heard Bastion turn into a tank, and most of our team is currently dead. So, like, we don't want to deal with that. Shepard's still upset. He's still going. I'm not listening to him, because I'm currently talking, but he does sound quite irate about something.
Because she's fine.
Apparently she's fine. So, there is a Bastion still. I mean, we're kind of the best one on our team to deal with that. I mean, Junkrat theoretically, but, like, we can't rely on him, so it's kind of, like, all on us, basically. All about us, also, but, Both our tanks are dead right now. I mean, Diva's not dead, but she's not in her mech, so she's not a hero. We see, if you try not to stand near ledges when you know there's a boostio, because, that tends to happen. And if you see the boostio coming, just, like, pivot away from the ledge as quickly as possible, because, getting right-clicked off an edge is never gonna feel very good. So, like, our Reinhardt is really gonna weigh us down on this one. The moral of this story, the moral of this game, is that it's very hard to solo carry a game, but it's very easy to solo throw a game. Because I can pinpoint the thing weighing us down in this game, and it's Reinhardt, because he doesn't know how to play Reinhardt. Like, he very visibly doesn't know how to play Reinhardt. He's very upset. He's very upset. Very upset. Ryan, get in there! No. I forgot about that one. Yeah. So, that's not even, like, you shouldn't do that if you're playing Ana. You shouldn't nano boost the Reinhardt that's just standing there with his shield up trying to make him engage, because that's really bad. But then just like, Reinhardt, get in there! No, fuck you. Alright, so we're in the Graviton. We all... Shepard's still upset. Not exactly the best Death Blossom I've ever seen in my entire life. Very scary. Probably just hide over the ledge until he's done being a tank, because it tends to be very bad if you get hit in the face by a tank shell, and we don't have time to get back again. So, like, yeah, you'll probably not do anything for... Well, I mean, you won't do anything for a few seconds while you're hiding out of the way of the tank, but you'll at least survive and maybe, like, get to do something, whereas now, like, we shouldn't even really have time to get back as Zenyatta. The other thing is also, like, probably time to just change to another hero to get back there quicker. Shepard's still upset. We hear the fire in the hole coming, so we know we're not long for this world at this point. And there it is. Hold on. See what I mean? I see what Oh my god. Hold on. Back it up. Oh. Oh. No. One more. One more.
He takes no fucking skill.
Uh-huh.
No skill.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. Shepard has left the voice channel. Oh, but just like one more, though. One more.
I'm gonna fucking win. See what I mean? He takes no fucking skill. No skill.
I love people that get, like, so angry at the video game that they are actually, like, screaming into their microphone. Oh, God. I love people that get so angry they actually start screaming into the microphone and clip the shit out of it.
Man, I'm not even, like, I'm usually kind of salty we lost, but oh my god.
I don't think I've ever seen a Riptire kill Metal before, actually. Oh, I love people that get, like, that salty. So, the moral of today's story is that it's very hard to solo carry a game. I think you have to be, like, 2 tiers above that bracket to actually, like, clear, like, if you're in silver, you have to be, like, platinum or better to be able to, like, reliably solo carry it, for example. But it's very easy to solo throw the game because, and this is the thing, where, like, sometimes it's very, very depressing to try and, like, climb the ladder in any game, because there's a certain amount of games that you're just gonna lose through no input of your own. Because it can just be that somebody else on your team is playing really badly, and it can be somebody else on their team is playing really well. It's like 40% of the time, you're going to lose a game through no fault of your own. 40% of the time, you're going to win a game through no fault of your own because somebody else on your team doing really well, someone on their team doing really bad. And then, like, the remaining 20% of the time are the games that you can actually, like, affect the outcome of. This is a game that we were not really meant to win because our Reinhardt was really bad. Like, he's the things weighing us down. Out of, like, don't get me wrong, team's bad in general, but, like, Reinhardt doesn't know how to play Reinhardt. But it turns out that when Reinhardt's your only tank, if the Reinhardt's bad, that makes it really hard to do anything. Like, we played about as well as we could, barring the things we already talked about as they came up. But, like, it's not meant to be. Unfortunately, like, it's not meant to be. Which is gonna be, like, a large portion of it. This is why, like, climbing eventually just, like, comes to a matter of grinding it out over enough games. Because, like, you can be, like, gold. You should be, like, you can be in a point where you should be in gold, you should be in platinum, whatever. There comes a point where you just have to grind it out. Because as long as you consistently play well, eventually you'll climb out of those games that you can affect the outcome of, that you win. Because you're also not going to win all of the games that you can personally affect the outcome of. But if, as long as you're consistent, eventually you will climb. It just comes to a matter of grinding it out. Which is not fun, of course. No one particularly likes grinding, of course. But eventually that's what it comes down to. So, all you can really do at a game like this is look at it and be like, alright, what could I have done better? And then, which we've talked about as this kind of, and then, like, so as long as you learn from that, you hopefully play slightly more consistently, and then eventually you climb the ladder. And that's how it works, unfortunately. And it's true of any competitive game. I've heard a similar line of reasoning where it's 33%, 33%, 33% instead of, like, 40, 20, 40. I think, like, 40, 20, 40 is more accurate. I don't feel like there's really a game out there where you can affect, like, a third of the games you play unless you're, like, a god at that video game. Anyway. This is, like, all that happens at the end of these videos now, is that, like, I'm like, the moral is, and then I ramble for, like, 12 minutes about something tangentially connected. Whatever. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful. And boy, our man Shepard, I love him.